Hey guys, yes, I'm really here. Today my name isn't ironic. I just found this hilarious story and I had to share it with you. It's called Entitled YouTuber Abandons His Audience, but the audience got their revenge. They unsubscribed. Yeah, but seriously, I am sorry for being gone for so long, especially without explanation. So if you wanted to know where I was and what happened, I'll explain at the end of the video. But for now, we're just going to look forward and remember the good old times, before AI bots dominated the Reddit algorithm and I was just a wee little lad with my memes, my stories, my stock images, and of course, my calm reading voice. So sit back, relax, and let's take this channel for one more little spin round the block together, shall we? Alright, now how do I do this again? Am I the a-hole for leaving my mother's party after she insulted my daughter? I, 36 female, have a stepdaughter, 14 female, Anna. Her father and I married when Anna was 2. I considered her to be my real daughter in every way that matters, and love her just as much as my biological children. Most of my family adores Anna. She's a very sweet and hard-working girl who does her best to make them proud. However, my mother, 55 female, appears to not. She's never outright said that she dislikes my daughter or why, but I've always thought it's because Anna wasn't my biological child. I've been teaching Anna to cook for a few years now. She asked me last year if she could start bringing her cooking to my family gatherings and potluck, and of course, I agreed. My mother started critiquing Anna's dishes. It began with just suggesting she add different spices or cook an ingredient a little longer, but over the past few months, it's been getting worse. She doesn't criticize the dishes of any other family members. This Thanksgiving, she told Anna that the casserole she made was disgusting and inedible. I told my mother to stop criticizing Anna and that she was doing her best, but she just brushed me off. That was the final straw. My family was in town this week to celebrate my mother's birthday. I had some curry that my mother had made about 6 months ago and given to me to freeze. So I reheated it and brought it to the party and told everyone Anna had worked very hard to make it just like her grandmother always did. Immediately, my mother started criticizing the curry, saying how Anna had added too much spice and overcooked the chicken. She even went so far to tell Anna that she should stop bringing food to potlucks altogether. I hadn't originally intended to make a big deal out of this, but that comment crossed the line. I informed my mother that it was her own curry that I had reheated, and Anna had not actually cooked it. She immediately started sputtering and backpedaling, saying she was just trying to give constructive criticism and make Anna a better cook. But I knew she didn't really believe it. I asked her why she would treat her own stepdaughter so badly, and she admitted that she didn't see Anna as her real grandchild. This was the final straw for me. I found my husband, Anna, and my other children, and told them we had to leave, explaining what my mother said. We probably won't be attending any family gatherings for the foreseeable future either. My mother has gone full scorched earth on Facebook, and most family members have taken her side. She says that I ruined her party by leaving, that I destroyed our relationship for someone who isn't even my real child. My husband is on my side, but he thinks we shouldn't have left the party since I'd already proven my point. Leaving the party was absolutely the correct thing to do. She had already established earlier boundaries, saying, "You need to stop criticizing her cooking," which is a perfectly reasonable expectation to have for a child who's just making their best effort. Let's say theoretically there was something terrible about her cooking. Is there any need to criticize the child directly and publicly in front of everyone? No, she only did that to humiliate her. She's clearly not the a-hole if she has set clear boundaries, reasonable ones, and the mother has chosen to unreasonably continue to push them. Am I the a-hole for ruining my family's New Year's Eve by refusing to join the fun because I didn't want to be the designated driver again? I, 26 female, need some serious perspective. I'm starting to think I might be the a-hole, but I still feel like I'm in the right. Every New Year's Eve, my family has a big party at my aunt and uncle's house, and every year, without fail, I end up being the designated driver. Don't get me wrong, I love my family, but it's starting to bug me. It's been like this since I was 19, even before I was legally allowed to drink. I don't drink much, maybe a glass of wine or a beer, but I don't get plastered. I'm fine with driving people home if they need it, but for the past few years, everyone expects me to not drink, so I can drive them back. Every year, it's the same. "Oh, can you drive? You're not drinking anyway." I always say yes because I don't want to let anyone down. Fast forward to this year's New Year's Eve. I told my family ahead of time I wasn't going to be the designated driver anymore. I just wanted to enjoy the night, have a couple of drinks, and not be responsible for getting everyone home. I even told my cousin, who usually gets really sloshed, that I wasn't driving this year, and she was fine with it. When I got to the party, it was the usual chaos. People were drinking, laughing, and having a good time. I was enjoying myself, but around 11, my cousin came over and asked if I was ready to drive everyone home. I reminded her I'm not driving tonight. I'm here to enjoy the party. She looked at me like I was crazy and said, "Come on, you always drive. Don't be a bee." It's like, what the heck? I tried to explain calmly that I wasn't being a bee, just that I wasn't going to be the chauffeur anymore. Then my aunt overheard and pulled me aside. She lectured me saying, "We all agreed last year you'd be driving. You know how much we rely on you. Everyone else is too tipsy, and Ubering is so unsafe. Just drive this one time, for the family." I felt a ton of pressure, but I refused. I told her I'm not their chauffeur, and I wasn't going to do it again, just because no one else could figure out their own ride. My aunt got upset, saying I was being selfish and that we're family. She said I'm the only one who doesn't get too drunk, so it makes sense for me to help out. I told her I already had 3 beers, so I wasn't even legally supposed to drive myself. That's when I snapped. I told them it's not my job to be their DD every year just because I'm the only one who doesn't get blackout drunk. They needed to figure out their own rides this time. Then I got up and left. I felt bad for walking out, but I didn't want to be a doormat anymore. I spent the rest of New Year's Eve at home, watching Netflix and eating leftover pasta with my boyfriend. My family texted me, calling me dramatic, selfish, and saying I ruined the night. They said I was being super sensitive and that everyone was disappointed in me. Everyone's demanding an apology out of me, even now. And by the way, I got home perfectly safe by Uber. So let's think this through. Clearly said I'm not going to be the designated driver, got confirmation from them that that was the case, then gets insulted for just doing the thing they already said they were going to do. It's super clear what's going on here. They all wanted to take advantage of her. They either didn't want to pay for an Uber themselves, just claiming it's not safe. And so they insult her and call her names to try and bully her so that she'll do what they want. They want to drink and indulge. They want to have fun. They don't want to pay for the Uber. They want everything at someone else's expense. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give up my seat on the plane so a boy could sit next to his father and to tell the father to behave himself? So basically I, 29 male, boarded my short flight, 70 minutes, which has a 2-to-2 seating arrangement. I'd booked myself a window seat, and when I got there, I saw a maybe 7-year-old boy sitting in there, next to his father, about 50 years old, in the aisle seat. The opposite row also had his mother and his sister sitting there. Although this happened less than 24 hours ago, I was exhausted, so I don't remember the conversation word for word. I pointed towards my seat, and the father asked me if I would mind swapping so they could sit together, and that their seat is in the row behind it. I said that I would only swap if it's a window seat, and he said it is an aisle seat. Then I said I wouldn't swap, and the following conversation happened. "So do you want to sit next to my son?" "I don't care, I just want the window seat." Him standing up and getting his son up. "You are a very nice person. I mean, not a very nice person." "It's none of your business, and be polite." "I am not," referring to polite. I said something I don't remember, and behave yourself. I just stood there looking at him serious. I think he was trying to shame me initially, but he didn't respond anything else to that. His wife was watching this the whole time. When somebody in the row behind saw it, he offered to swap and sat next to me, so they did eventually sit next to each other. For all I care, they could have sat 20 rows apart or even booked a new flight. I had zero investment in this, or their reasons. They can ask, I can say no, and that should be the end of it in my opinion. I didn't like that they basically pulled a fait accompli when trying to swap with me. If they care that much, they can book their seats in advance like everyone else. I didn't have a good reason why I need the window seat, except that I like it, and I don't need the aisle seat. Oh man, I really miss reading stories. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I did it just now. Okay, I think that if you've got a seat, like I like the window seat on a plane. Who doesn't, right? You get to look out, it's fun. I get that somebody else might want to sit with their family member. That totally makes sense. But like the dude said, you gotta prepare this stuff in advance. And I know this sounds like an entitled parent story. I actually intentionally tried to avoid entitled parents as a subreddit, but here it is on Am I the A-hole? So there you go. It's like, it's inescapable. It's like me and entitled parents are just like magnets gravitizing towards each other for all time. Destined, doomed. It is my fate. So what happened? Why did I leave? YouTuber burnout, better opportunities, health issues, the crazy complexity that is life. Yeah, kind of all of the above. Voice acting every day with sometimes some pretty crazy characters took a strain on my voice. Some days I would wake up almost completely voiceless. Like, all right, time to do some VoiceyHere, but my voicey is not here. So that kind of freaked me out a bit, but this was my job now. And that's when the creative energy faded and it just became a daily job and a drain. Yeah, I know, boo-hoo the poor YouTuber who gets to do his dream job every day. But at some point, it's weird. It stops becoming a dream and you wake up. There were other things I wanted to do in life. I wanted to study, I wanted to produce. So that's what I did. I spent some time studying and I'm still a YouTube producer. There might even have been a YouTube video that you've watched and was produced by me. You wouldn't even know it. My biggest regret though is that I never said goodbye. It didn't give me closure. It didn't give you closure. At some point, I started doing the revamped episodes. My channel was already in decline, people wanted to watch the classic episodes, so I gave the people what they wanted, and it meant I had time to pursue other interests. It felt like a win-win, though I knew it wouldn't last forever. But I should have said goodbye. And yes, I'm totally aware of the irony of my channel name. I think I didn't say goodbye because I didn't want to. It felt like closing the door on something that I wanted to be left slightly ajar. So I want to take this chance to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't endure. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye. It's funny. I know what it's like to be on the other side and watch a YouTube channel that you like, only to have them disappear without a trace. You feel, not to use the term too lightly, entitled. But you kind of are. I was here on a platform creating and entertaining, saying, hello, here I am. It's only fair that when I leave, I should say goodbye. So if this is the last you ever hear from me, if this is the last video I ever do, goodbye. But I don't think it'll be the last I ever do. I think I'll be back. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, maybe the day after that, we'll see. Seriously though, thank you and goodbye. Or if you're new, hello, subscribe for daily Reddit videos. I will never abandon you because VoiceyHere. Say it with me, my fellow humans.
VoiceyHere.
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 I'm going to subscribe to VoiceyHere.